Howdy Memo, it's our last grandma video, can you believe it? This week we went over atherosclerosis and heart disease. And since it's such a broad topic, I'm going to specifically talk to you about atherosclerosis, kind of brief little synopsis about it, where it takes place, and the different types of plaque buildup that take place within it. So atherosclerosis takes place in the inner lining of the arterial wall called the intima, and it is basically the deposition of lipids. But it takes place mainly in the left coronary artery. So basically when looking at the heart, it is going to be this artery located right here, just for a visual representation. Other than that, I have different drawings for the others. But it also can result in atheromas, which is basically the fibrous buildup of plaque. So when looking at type 1 plaque, you're going to see this. So this is our left coronary artery, and then the red line right here in the middle is the intima. And basically this is type 1. So basically you just see the thickening of the intima wall right here. It's basically where it gets thick and it's starting to get spaces to where the lipids are going to go, or the macrophages. The reason for this being is I know that a lot of people will hypothesize that it's from the lipid infiltration hypothesis, which is basically the leaking of lipids into the arterial wall. So type 2 plaque buildup, or type 2 lesion, is basically it's going to be when you have a bunch of macrophages show up in our intima, and with this macrophages basically collect all the debris and the junk that our body doesn't want. Well, the reason for them to build up in here is because they normally use the LDLR for them to shut off. So that receptor shuts them off whenever they are full. But whenever they don't use that or have a lack of it, they end up using something else and it doesn't shut them off. And that's why you get the buildup of this down here. And like I said, it's the first stage of atherosclerosis. When looking at type 3, it's going to be right here. So with type 3, it's going to be pre-atheroma. So basically it's the beginning of atheroma. We look at here and you have the macrophage foam cells all right here, and they're going to start forming small pools of extracellular lipids. So they're starting to form together and form these small pools. And as you can see, the intima is getting smaller and smaller with each type of plaque. This can be seen in ages as early as 10, and about a third of it is taken up by age 30. When looking at type 4, it's going to be right here. Basically, the main predictor of this one is you're going to have the core of the extracellular lipids. So mainly all the small pools have come together into one, and it forms an atheroma right here. So basically, again, it's getting smaller. All those small pools are forming into one, and you're seeing less and less macrophages in here. Type 5 of plaque is going to be when you have this massive pool right here. It's fibrous, it's thickening between the atheroma and the lumen. So it's thickening between this wall and this middle wall right here, this second blue wall. It becomes really thick and kind of gets really close together, and it just forms and gets bigger and bigger. And then that was type 5. So type 6 is when it gets to the worst part of it. So type 6 is when you have, again, that massive obtrusion right here, and then smaller or fewer macrophages. But then you also have a thrombus, which is right here on your intima. And basically, what that is a blood clot. You have a blood clot on your the inner arterial wall. It forms that blood clot, which also forms a fissure, which is a tear within there as well. And then a hematoma, which is going to be also localized swelling, which fill with blood. So that swelling is filled with the blood. So this is probably the worst stage that you can get to once you have that blood clot in your artery. Again, that's going to obstruct blood flow, can lead to several different things like heart attacks and stuff like that. that will definitely affect your heart and your health. But that's kind of the different plaques, plaque buildups within that arterial wall. Sorry for the drawings. I tried my best. They were from my slideshow. But I really hope you enjoyed all of our talks as I have, Memo, and I hope you learned a lot from me. Thanks, and have a great day, Memo.